Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dungeon of the Mad Mage. This is session 50. We got some exciting stuff, potentially. Session 250? 150.
We've gone back in
3,000.
This is the second time in 5 minutes.
Oh, God. Everything's collapsing around me.
Share your flavor.
Share your flavor?
Wait, what? What did you just say?
Talk about our sponsor.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh no. Are we back to the sponsor
Raid
phase?
Shadow Legends.
Oh God.
No. Wait, I wish we could get some Raid Shadow Legends money.
Look,
Our
they got a lot of money.
Our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends.
Welcome back to session 150 of Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I've kind of let this intro go a little long, so we're going to jump immediately into a little bit of a recap.
Sure, hit that like button and share with your friends. Leave a comment.
Shut up!
Yeah, call to action.
Previously, in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, the party found themselves in the library of Dwemercore. I think I've started like 4. That's appropriate, very appropriate. I feel like I think I've started 4 recaps by saying that phrase. Ezrah had just completed his research for the evening, and the party discussed amongst themselves the many different possibilities and avenues that lay before them. Ultimately, they decided to investigate a seemingly more benign request. Elon Freth, the Drow illusionist, had asked the party's aid in restoring a semblance of normality to the Magic Academy. They had already corrected the problem, which had closed the conjuration class, and apparently there was some sort of problem with the transmutation class as well. Elon didn't have many details, just that the class was no longer scheduled, and that an ominous statue had appeared within it. Feeling as if Elon had been one of the more approachable members of the school, the party decided he would be safe to curry favor with. Also, opening up more of the school's functionality could be a possible boon to them. Besides, Bones was cobbling together a plan to distract the headmaster, curry favor with several students, and pull off a heist simultaneously. And Elon's help could be vital. So, the party made their way towards the transmutation class, but along the way they decided they might explore a bit. Within the dining hall, several members of the party identified a draft behind the tapestry that hung on its northern wall. Bones investigated and was faced with a guardian Ifrit. Bones assuaged the Ifrit with a bribe before Matashtai figured out that they could still pass through beyond the guardian's territory, as long as the Ifrit was the one touching the tapestry. They continued onward and found a simple chamber with an incredibly strange Nothic, which had a frankly weird crystalline helmet strapped to its head. It seemed to be imprisoned within the chamber and occasionally shouted nonsensical responses into the ether. Unable to make heads or tails of the situation, the party continued on, finding themselves between the illusion and divination classrooms, as well as the strange secret room where Matashtai had encountered the Halaster horrors. They decided to continue through the divination classroom, where they struck up a conversation with the magic orb, Professor Bring. Bring specialized in 2 subjects of some particular interest to the party: Zorn and the history of Undermountain. Bones was able to get some information about the corrupted crystals he carried and what it might do to moss-covered rock near stream. The party then asked a series of questions about Undermountain, culminating in Professor Bring listing for them the levels of the dungeon, potentially quite useful information. The party realized they might be able to use the professor's knowledge in the future and resolved to think of more potential questions to ask. In the meantime, they continued onward, finally making their way to the transmutation classroom. Within the ebb and flow of its changing colored lights, the party found the ominous golden statue of a young androgynous human figure. as well as what appeared to be 3 petrified dragon's eggs. Ezrah was able to determine a number of magical effects about the room, namely that a very strong transmutation ritual was placed upon the golden statue. The party surmised that the statue was very likely not what it seemed. Matashtai thought that the best way to figure out what it was by pulling it free of the circle in which it stood. Whether he was correct or not, as he dragged the statue out of the circle, it came to life, shouting a challenge against Halaster Blackcloak, and a moment later, the figure's eyes came to lay upon the petrified dragon's eggs. It roared with anguish and fury, shifting its form to that of a silver dragon. It was clear that the dragon was in a state of emotional anguish, lashing out around it. As the party prepared to defend themselves, Matashtai attempted to talk reason to the creature, and though it heard his words, it responded with an attack that left him paralyzed. Fortunately, Ezrah, speaking in Draconic and exhibiting a rare moment of authority, shouted for the dragon to calm itself, to realize that they were not the cause of its misfortune. In the following moments, Nindeltath, the shadow of a moonglade, regained their senses and briefly told the party their story. The loss of their home, battles more than 100 years hence, and the apparent culmination of the loss of their eggs. It was clear that Nindeltath was a broken figure, in need of time to find its will again. At Matashtai's suggestion, the dragon decided to seek out Ezrah, and after unpetrifying the remains of their ruined eggs, the party assisted them in leaving the academy. On their way out, after a brief encounter with the headmaster, Nindeltath confirmed for the party that the headmaster of the Magic Academy of Dwemerkor was indeed not Halaster Blackcloak. The party returned to the transmutation classroom, collected the remains of the eggs, and planned their next moves. And that is where we fade into the scene. And this is where, very brief moment, one, feels like I gotta adjust all of my movement now, movement now. Very, very. I told the players before we started that I'm very excited to unveil something that I've actually been looking at for a little while, but it is a small thing, but it excites me greatly.
What is that?
I moved the players onto the map. Please find yourselves.
I don't know where I'm at. No, if I see me. Damn, we back in the class. Hey, I can click a door now.
Green.
I can click this door. Look at this. Look at how I'm clicking this door.
What? Doors?
I wonder how many
door?
Jeremy, you already have enough problems with the players running and getting themselves stuck in walls.
What?
Are you really?
Did they fix that?
I understand that I am likely going to cause issues for myself, but as Roll20 has been making updates to their system, I've been trying to keep an eye on things. In the background, some things have been going on in 2022 that I haven't really talked about. Lighting things, adjustments, etc., to make things simple. But you guys have seen in Dwemerkor me having to kind of like, oh, here, let me open this door for you. Oh, here, let me close this door back, etc., and now I don't have to do that anymore. So, fingers crossed that this doesn't cause massive issues. But now you have the ability, when you're freely exploring, to actually walk up to a door and click on the door. And if the door is not locked, it will open. If the door is locked, it won't open. And I'll be like, roll me a lockpicking check or what have you, right? So like, yeah, it is, I think, on the grand scale of things, a small change, but I'm actually very excited about it. So
no, it's cool. I like it.
I think it's dangerous.
I think it's
I-
super dangerous.
I can already see the situation
Mm.
where, we're just playing casually, and then someone clicks open the door and not thinking about it. There's like fucking 50 bajillion things back, and they just immediately close it again, and you're like, nope.
No, you don't get to close that door. Or you can close that door, but they saw you as well, right? Like I'm actually waiting for the moment where someone is like clicking a door and like someone's trying to get through the door and they close the door and then they open the door and then they close the door and then they open the door and some weird client shenanigans happen and they get like shunted into a nearby like wall or some shit, you know? So we'll see how it goes. But
Yeah.
as it is, I'm very excited by the software update of Roll20, and I'm optimistic that it might mean fun exploration things for us. Anyways, let's try to shift scenes. Incoming 20 no, I'm gonna guess 2 minutes of us trying to shift scenes. Incoming scene shift. And crash. And not crash. And crash. And not crash. And
Crashing.
hey!
You
It didn't
crashing,
take that
son?
long. It only took
You
3 back and forths. Okay. You guys are thank you very much for the sub, Jake. 27 months. 27 years. It feels like.
Wow.
You were subbing when you were 8.
Negative.
I'm guessing we're the same age.
Yeah.
Jake is not the same. No, what the? What?
Jake and I
Is he?
think are the same age. Jake, you're 35?
Yeah, you're like a month older than me.
Yeah, Jake and I are the same
Oh.
age.
I thought you were Mitch's age.
No. Mitch is a baby.
Mitch
I'm the
a
baby.
baby boy.
Daddy.
Mitch a baby boy, Jay an old man. All the rest of us are in between. Okay,
Old man noises.
you guys have made it in. You are back in the transmutation classroom. Matashtai has collected the unpetrified remains of the silver dragon eggs. And it is the evening of the 26th, I believe. So it's I think it's like 6 o'clock or so. Let me double check.
Yep.
It should be 7, technically, 7 p.m. In the Magic Academy of Dwevercore. The time is yours. What do you want to do? What's the plan to stand?
Well, let's see. Chat.
Let's see
I
chat.
think we should go find Elan.
Oh, are
Yeah.
you referencing? Gotcha.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
What's that Necro Bro's name? Kratos? Kratos?
Arstus.
Oh,
Karstus.
Karstus, yeah.
Kratos. Get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
Zeus!
Boy.
Boy.
Well, we've only been here like a day, though, haven't we?
Yes.
I don't even
We
think you
haven't
guys
even-
have been here for 24 hours. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not that out of order.
Certainly feels more.
Feels like we've been here for I don't know a month and a half.
No, the 26th of the Hammer made it to Dramacore. It's still the 26th.
All right, well let's go find old damn, not Karstus, Elan.
Okay. So you know Elon's room to be
Elan.
in the dorm Essentia. You could check there, or you could try to find him. Say what?
I've gotten both of my characters stuck in the wall.
Okay, I'm going to take Mossy from you.
Trying to do it just happened.
I'm gonna take Mossy from you. Mossy is with you. Just don't
They
worry about
fucking-
moving Mossy.
They Tokyo drifted into the wall as soon as I left the freaking door.
It has to do with the fact that you're moving multiple tokens at the same time. Like when I move you guys around, like if I try to like shift keys you guys around, like you'll start to drift slightly and then you'll just end up at spaces.
That's what happened.
Which is
made
why I
the
don't-
turn, but Tokyo drifted into the wall.
Yeah, which is why I just don't do it. So I'm just gonna take Mossy is with you. Mossy is with the party, but you don't have to worry about moving Mossy around. If shit goes down or you need to reference Mossy, feel free to.
All right, well, hey, last I saw him, he was in study hall, and that's not too far from here.
Sure.
wanna go
So
check
you
out
know his
study
room
hall?
is in Dormacentia. You have seen him in study hall, and you've seen him in the canteen. Tracking him down is however the fuck you want to do that.
Just starts.
Where you guys
screaming
wanna
his
go?
name.
Yeah, walking down the halls just screaming.
Let's just go check study hall real quick. It's right here.
Okay.
I'll wait for everyone to catch up.
Oh, look at
Yeah,
this.
he
this
ain't
is
here.
this is so nice. Actually, roll that beautiful bean footage. Someone roll me a D12.
It's a 9.
It's a 9. What? Oh. He's here.
Hey, it's Elan!
he's actually sitting at the same desk that you last saw him at. Just casually like writing in a journal or a notebook or something like that.
I go
I think
in
I
there.
got left behind if you moved everybody.
Go in there.
I did
Right.
not move everyone.
Go down to
You're
bad.
going north. Everyone went south.
My bad. I'm heading back down.
I
It
go
is super laggy now for me.
I stand in front of him until he
It's-
notices me.
It's not for
Okay.
me.
That might be a side effect. So, like I said, we're gonna have to keep an eye on things and see how it goes. But that might be one of the situations. So we'll see.
I tried it in Firefox and Chrome, and they're both the same.
Sadness heroes.
Well, try other things.
Okay. While you are trying that, Bones and company, you head into the study hall, and as soon as you open the door, right, you're faced with that wall of utter silence, right? In point of fact, the only reason Elon kind of like turns his head towards you is that he has positioned himself very specifically so that he can see both doors with his peripheral vision, right? So he sees the door open to the west, and he kind of like inclines his head slightly. He sees all of you, and then he kind of like turns towards you and gestures, right,
Yeah.
in kind of like recognition.
I say,
You see him visibly sigh, right, and take a moment to regard you. Roll me a general charisma check.
okay. Charisma. Yep, that seems right.
Okay.
That matches my excitement level for this.
He feels as if he is able to read your demeanor plain as day. He was making an insight check against you. And he doesn't feel as if you're about to like stab him in the hallway. So you see him kind of like visibly like make the sighing face, and he gets up and kind of like dusts his hands off, and then he walks over. Everyone's kind of like entered the silent room, and he's kind of like gesturing at people, like ushering them back out into the hallway, right?
I want to start talking. I want to know that when I talk, like, clearly sound doesn't come out, and so I can't hear myself. But do I hear like the muffled talking of?
You
like,
don't even
my
hear
internal-
yourself in your own head, right? Like it's like everything is silenced. You don't hear your own heartbeat. You hear nothing. It is.
If I, pound on my chest, I
Nothing.
know I can feel it, but
you feel it. You hear nothing.
Cool. All right. Cool. Utter
Utter silence.
Utter silence.
Not like scary sci-fi silence where like, we're going to put you in a vacuum chamber and you're going to hear your own heartbeat and it's going to drive you crazy. No, you hear nothing. Just period.
All right.
Nothing.
Ashes goes actually insane. He loses
Okay,
his
gotcha. Faced with the lack of existence that is the silence spell, Ashes goes actually insane. Elon walks out of the room, Bones, and is standing there, kind of pointing at your insane tiefling friend.
Hey, why wouldn't I just stab him in the room if it's a
You gonna be
crazy
okay?
anti-vapor?
Huh?
No, he's not. He never will be.
Bummer.
First.
Is it contagious?
In a sense.
Since when are curses contagious?
Well, when they're lycanthropy.
Damn, nail on the head. All right.
Is that? I suppose it's targeted transmission.
Absolutely
but-
contagious. You cannot argue otherwise.
He looks at Matashtai and he says, in Ezra's defense, I guess technically it depends on the style of lycanthropy, but he kind of
It passed
eyes
to other
Ashes.
people.
He says,
That is contagious.
in his case, I think maybe contagious.
I haven't infected anybody that I know yet.
I thought you were about to say, I haven't
Have you
infected
slashed or
anybody who didn't
bitten
deserve
anyone
it.
that still lives?
I'm sorry.
Have you slashed or
can buy
bitten
that
anyone
answer.
who still lives?
Andrew.
Wait.
Kinda like-
no. Wait. Wait.
Elon turns a side eye to Ezra and
Wait.
it's like, interesting. Where mage? I'll have to keep that in mind.
Would I know of a were-mage from the order that I could
Oh
just
yeah,
like,
there are several were mages
then
in
I
the
will
order.
recount them. Oh, you'd be interested in were-mages?
Yeah.
Well, I've got this one guy that does this.
There are plenty of were mages. In point of fact, fuck, what's her name? Branwyn? Bronwyn? Huh?
Baywin. Are you
Baywin.
talking about the
Yeah,
head?
she's
leader
a
of the
mage,
Order of the Werebear?
right? Like she is actually a sorcerer, or sorceress, right?
Sorceress.
Now she doesn't rely on her magic very much. She normally just beats the fuck out of people. But
her were form is like that bear you hate so much in Elden Ring.
isn't she a were-boar?
She was originally intended to be a werebear.
Is she a werebear? I don't remember, cause like isn't you got too many B names.
Yeah.
Baloo and Bagheera. Anyways, Elon kind of like side eyes you, Ezra, just as kind of like this passing like joke of like, perhaps Ezra is aware and we don't know it, right? But like he's just jesting, you know. And then he
I'll
kind of
give
like,
him that look like, how did you know?
oh,
You're right. It was a wereboar.
hey.
By the way,
suck it.
I rolled these. Like all the backstory characters from my guy, they were
Yeah.
rolled. I even
You
rolled my own.
you have a werewolf, you have a werebear, and you have a wereboar.
A ghoul is the blue dragonborn were rat.
Wait, oh, he's a were-rat. Sorry, not a were-bear.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, Jake's face as the dragonborn turns into a were-rat. He's like, that is not acceptable.
Nope.
That is not acceptable.
Hey, look.
I
I
should've
let
rerolled
I let the
them
dice
down.
aside.
That's funny. Okay, so now outside of the silent, cursed study hall, Elon kind of like turns to each of you, specifically Bones, since Bones has kind of like instigated this, but anyone is kind of like free to jump in. It's just like, so how can I help you? What's up?
How long ago did that statue show up in transmutation?
Maybe
Why are you wide-eyed at him?
a week or two, maybe 3.
125 years ago?
100? Excuse me?
No, don't worry about it.
I
Who put it
haven't
there?
been here for... That's a long-ass time. I'm not even 125 years old.
Yeah.
Look, I had transmutation class, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, a couple weeks ago?
Help. Like,
The room has been cleared out.
Oh,
Things should be able to proceed.
why didn't you just start with that?
I don't know.
Like, kind of like squints at Ashes, like, what the fuck? Okay. Well, I guess, I mean, this means I owe you one. You said you were after, private lessons with the headmaster, right?
Yep.
And he kind of turns to Ezra and he says, what are you interested in learning?
I don't think this is for me.
Not for him.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just kind of assumed. He scans the other three people and he looks at Bones and he's like, "What are you interested in learning?"
No, it's for old Marta Moonshadow. Well, I'm not saying the last two. It's for Marta.
His face immediately kind of darkens and he says, "Marta? Why are you getting private lessons for Marta?"
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
I would. That's why I asked.
and it seems to me
Marta's a
that
crook.
he just
Marta's
to
up
make
my
her
business
angry.
constantly.
I was gonna tell him. I was gonna tell him, guys.
What?
Um,
Tell me. Go ahead.
It's because we used to know her, and I want her to like me, and she seems to not like me very much.
You
right
used
now.
to know her?
Yeah, we rescued her.
You rescued her.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, she was in prison.
I feel like you made a mistake there.
Well, she was
Maybe.
in Auburn prison, so
Mhm.
I don't know why, but she treats everyone else here like garbage. Anyone that is not me, she treats like trash. And it's like she wants to be glued to my side. I've had to basically tell her I have zero interest in her, and that didn't work. I actively have to avoid her. I walk around invisible to make sure I don't run into her.
It probably has true sight.
Damn.
Hey, who's the queen in Obsidia?
We know that.
You see him kind of immediately begin to be a little cagey, and he's like, I told you I'm not, I don't want to get involved in my family's business.
Oh, it's that queen.
Well, no, it's not. It's not my aunt. It's House Avrindar. Lonwelv is the queen in Obsidia. My aunt is Erelal, the matron mother.
House Avrindar?
House Spreth. You
Well,
didn't
yeah,
know this?
No.
All right, hold on. I just
Okay, I made a couple assumptions. I apologize. That's my fault. I kind of assumed that it seemed like you knew a lot of things coming in here. Obviously I was maybe incorrect. I apologize. He kind of looks, and he kind of walks over here to this kind of corner and kind of looks around. Damn, woman. That's fair. Super fair. Super fair. He kind of walks to the corner and he's looking around, just making sure no one's over listening in. Sees the two doors closed and then kind of walks back a little ways. And looks at all of you and says, "Okay, maybe we kind of start over here. Clear to me that I maybe made some assumptions on who you were and what you knew and what you were about. So, do we need to relay some groundwork or anything like that?"
I don't know. Do we? Why?
Okay. I am
Elon
Elon
Prep.
Breath.
Uh-huh.
My father is un momento, I'm actually looking up a name real quick.
I've already gone to my notes and I'm like getting ready.
Acha! Make sure I'm on the right.
What's the daddy's name? What is it?
My father is Driven Breath. And he looks at you as he says he looks at all of you as he says that, right? And in this most kind of like insufferable corrective student kind of like style, he says, that's Drivvin, Driven Breath.
Not enough H's.
Right, like he's done it before. Who is the sibling to Erelal Freth, the matron of my house. My house is... He kind of like rolls his eyes and sighs as he says it. I guess technically at war with House Ovrindar, led by Blonwelv, the queen in Obsidia.
Okay. Well, we might have known that, but I didn't remember that.
So Blondwell is the queen in Obsidia.
B, not B.
Blondwell.
Blonwelv. Her name is a complicated one. It is
With 7 H's.
0 H's. It is Blonwelv.
That's actually how I spelled it.
Nice. Good job.
Good enunciation, Jeremy.
Not even close.
J's tend to be very far off.
You should have seen how many different ways to spell Dramacore. Like, good God.
Look, I'll never get over drama core because it's very
Drama. Yeah, it's
appropriate.
a drama core.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck.
He isn't wrong. We're
No,
here.
not at
It's
all.
pretty
I said it was
dramatic.
very appropriate. And then he kind of like in a quieter tone, he looks at Bones and he says, and while my house is at war with House Ovrindar, I personally have no interest in this altercation and would prefer to be left out of it entirely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why Marta's like on your nuts, is because of your relation.
What do you mean?
Like, she seems to be like obsessed with, I don't say obsessed, I don't know her, I haven't talked to her enough about it, but she seems very interested in the Queen of Obsidia.
Is she?
Oddly.
Yeah.
Huh. You said you knew her from before. Was she always like this?
No, she
No.
seems
Mitch?
different.
I mean, we didn't know her interested in Obsidia when we met her. No, that's only a recent development that I've, we
No.
Where did you meet her?
She wasn't like this. In fact, she helped us fight Teresa Ovrindar.
Yeah, for her life.
Okay, but she still helped us and we helped kill, and she helped us kill her.
He kind of like he steps
she
back and he
was
kind of
a
like
prisoner.
leans against the wall and crosses his arms, just kind of like listening to you talk. All of you talk.
She was a prisoner of one of the daughters of the matron mother.
Why would
And
she?
I'm sorry to make you repeat, but the Queen of Obsidia is Elon's aunt.
No.
No.
Yeah,
Elon's
the
aunt
mother
is
of
the
House
matron
Freth.
mother of his house.
Okay.
House
Who
Freth.
is warring
Errolwall.
with a
You-
Blonwell.
Yeah, you have 2 drow houses. He's from the other house, House Freth. And then the house that you guys have been fighting against is House Ovrindar, and that's Blonwell.
Okay.
Yeah, so
And
Elon
Driven
kind
is
of like...
his father.
Yes. Elon kind of like leans against the wall, and he's just like, Why would she be a... If she fought... What? Doesn't make any sense.
Agreed.
I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I've got to try to imagine why she was even there to begin with, and if she has some kind of interest in the Queen Obsidia,
Oh,
maybe that's why she was there to begin with.
How you know she didn't get captured?
Yeah, from where?
yeah. I
I
mean,
don't
why?
know.
Why
Yeah,
was
those
she?
people
Where was this?
Was that floor 3?
Sargoth.
So it was
Yeah.
in Undermountain. So why was
Mhm.
she in Undermountain to begin with?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I guess we didn't ask, but she wasn't openly hostile like this, and we escorted her to the surface.
And now she's here, even further down.
We did kind of pave the way.
In
Well, she got here
blood.
before.
She's been here for a couple of weeks. So
Couple of weeks. Hold on. So, couple, right? So minimum 2. That means she was at least here since the beginning of Hammer.
So that would mean she probably came directly down here.
I mean, I personally haven't gone much upwards. I came from below. But I imagine it's not especially difficult to get around if you're just walking invisibly or avoiding things.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
He is the knight.
He is the spellcaster in this group,
Obviously.
obviously.
I'm magic
yeah.
app.
He kind of like looks at you just like smiles, just like obviously.
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 I says,
Oh.
all right, well, you've given me a lot to think about. This is honestly like very strange. Like since I met her, she's been kind of obsessive towards me, but I've never had a real grasp of why.
She's also looking at
I mean, I
something
still
in the
don't know.
Abjuration School. I don't know if you're overly
Abjuration?
proficient with that.
I'm more of an illusionist myself, but
Oh, hey guys, I don't know if I mentioned this. I heard that she was trying to bind something strong.
I do know she seems to be somewhat focused in conjuration.
Well, when I talked to her, she was having some issues with abjuration specifically.
Who did she want to talk to?
She was just looking for help. I forgot who she was looking for.
Violence.
She was looking for violence?
Violence.
Is her room the one right across from us, or is it the twins?
Yes,
Marta
violence
is
is-
in...
Yeah.
Oh, so
Violence
yeah,
is
she was
directly
looking for
above you.
violence. Yep.
Elon kind of like strokes his chin and he says, "Yeah, I think Violence has a demon bound to her. She's not. I think she has a planar binding for her service. Maybe that's what Marta is after, is trying to learn how to bind planar beings? I think
Sounds
that's
dangerous.
abjuration." And he kind of looks at you, Ezra, and he kind of like shrugs, like he's not really sure. Like that's not his area of expertise, and he's just like, I don't know why that would mean she's obsessed with me or with the Queen of in Obsidia, though. Maybe the two aren't related? Or maybe they are, I just don't know what the connection is.
She did mention something about binding an entity. She just didn't go into detail. So that makes sense.
Not gonna lie, that makes me a little nervous. There are plenty
Honestly,
of people
the lot
around
of you
here.
make me nervous.
You, he looks at you, Ezra, and he says, you, and he kind of gestures, have friends. I'm here alone. And all of these, and he kind of like air quotes, students, Bite and Nihilus and Violence and maybe now Marta with their sidekicks or their bound entities kind of make me a little... I feel like not that long ago the halls were safer, maybe, or calmer at the very least. Just... I feel like everything's starting to get a little...
Complicated?
dangerous is the word I was going to
That
use.
happen a lot when we go places.
Oh, are you to blame? Oh, should I be blaming you specifically?
Maybe, like,
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
low
Good
key,
to-
probably.
Good to know. Yeah, thanks for that. It's
Oh,
appreciated.
look,
This is my appreciative face, if you can tell.
I know you're trying to keep, keep a little profile and everything, but like, I don't know, like, shit just keeps happening. It's almost like we're like main characters in a video game or something.
Could you stop?
What are you talking about?
Video games, don't you know, Ezra?
I grew up in the woods. That's
Oh,
not really
well,
something.
you're sheltered. It happens.
My
It's
favorite
fair.
survival horror game.
Look, I'm from a noble house. We have the finest of consoles.
Consoles.
The what is it?
He has the Nintendo 64 with.
I was gonna say the DES, the Drow Entertainment System,
DES.
which is just like some guy attached to a rope that gets lashes and screams while it fights a scorpion.
It's not for you.
Right? Like that's
and
the
when
Drow
your
for you.
character loses, you get lashed.
Yeah,
Sounds
absolutely.
like just a great time.
Fucking Drow. Anyways, moving on.
Exactly.
All right, well, I guess we'll have to rethink this, but
No,
You know-
sorry. I didn't mean to like dash your ideas of what you're. I mean, if you want, look, I told you I'd get you private lessons. I didn't ask for who or for what or for why. So I'll honor my end of the bargain. I guess just whatever your specifics are, let me know, and I'll speak to the headmaster about it.
We'll be in touch.
yeah, we'll get back with you.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Just as a heads up, if you need me tomorrow, it's probably not going to be a very good time. We have monthlies tomorrow. They're a little early, due to midwinter, but yeah, most of the students are probably going to be out of commission tomorrow.
That sounds like an empty library.
Kind of shrugs and he says, "Sure, I guess." It's rather studious of you there, Ezra. And he gives you this kind of like, "Oh, you're the study boy. Gotcha. Okay." kind of like vibe.
Fucking nerd.
Nerd. Fair enough.
Okay.
Aw. And he just says, yeah, I mean, I guess the night is young, so if you come up with anything, I think I'm gonna head to my room after all this. You kind of given me a little bit to think about, so I guess I'll retire and do that. Plus, it's
Safe
probably good
travels.
for me to study up a few hours before I do monthlies tomorrow. All right, sure.
It's talking to you.
Yeah, thanks for clearing out the transmutation class. Thanks for, I guess, kind of trying to bring this place back to normalcy a little bit. That's appreciated, you know.
You're welcome,
Yeah.
my friend.
All right. Well, I'm gonna head this way. What are you guys doing as he kind of like gestures? Where are you gonna stay here, or are you Is this like an awkward moment where you're all like walking the same direction?
The same direction.
Yeah, I need to go.
I think we're going to try to locate somebody.
Okay.
Where's Worm Riddle's class?
Elon
Due
kind of like
east.
gives you the
Northeast.
finger guns, and he's like,
Hey,
"Okay,
bye.
I'm gonna head
See
this
you later."
way. Bye." And you see he kind of like walks away a little quicker than he would normally walk, just to try to put some distance in case you guys are going in the same direction. And
Did you hear when I called him my friend? He didn't say no. I'm not.
and he's gone.
I
Did you
did
hear that?
hear that.
Yeah.
I think you guys might be friends now.
That's the thing
I
that
mean,
got said.
If the plan is to go to Wormriddle, we can just go east here and go north.
Okay, let's go.
Do that.
Okay.
Are we going through the kitchen?
Yeah,
and
I kept
or are we going down
Worm
that
Riddle's
hall?
class.
Just said definitely don't go down that hallway.
We're going through the kitchen.
You guys head eastward through the study hall and onwards past the detention hall.
Are you moving us, or should I be moving?
I am
you?
not moving you. Hell no. I mean, I put in man hours to put in doors in this entire fucking floor. You guys are using those goddamn doors yourselves at this
Which
point.
one of you motherfuckers is walking through a door then immediately closing it behind you?
That's a good question. It's Jay. Jay's over here raising his fucking hand. Oh, fuck.
Okay, so
I'm gonna start closing the fucking door the moment you open it.
we're going over to
That sounds like a
the
battle then.
As I said, we're going to the supply room.
Gotcha. Alright, so you guys begin to walk through the halls of Dwemercore. I need someone to roll me a d12.
I rolled the first one.
Someone new, roll me a d12.
No.
Ezra, a 5.
Cinco.
Cinco
Okay.
minutos.
As you guys are actually interesting. This is perfect. As you guys are heading through the enchantment
I actually know
classroom,
where we went.
north
Where are
and
you?
then northeast.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm coming up. Close the door behind me. I'm coming.
God,
I'm
you know you don't have to close the doors, right?
I'm gonna close the door behind me. All right.
As you guys are heading through the enchantment classroom and you hit that wall where you leave the enchantment classroom, right? And you can't hear anything behind you, right? There's this field where it just kind of like cuts everything from the previous class that you entered into the hallway. And then when you enter into the next classroom, it does the same thing. Within the next classroom, as you kind of approach, you see sitting at a desk is Violence. And she seems to have a couple of different notebooks out in front of her and a couple of small sheets of parchment and a couple of small bags of various little components. And she seems to be practicing, right? You see her making hand signs and then speaking, but you can't hear what she's saying because of the kind of like silence wall in between the two rooms, right? But she does see out of the corner of her eyes, she sees you all standing there, and at first she kind of glowers, right? And then she sees Bones, and she kind of like stops glowering, but she still doesn't look happy, so to speak, right? She just kind of like looks at each of you, and she stops what she's doing. She kind of waits.
This room is silent too?
Well, so not the room, but there. Here, let me just draw it.
There's a
for you.
barrier.
Yeah, there's a barrier between the rooms. So right here and right here, these two green lines, there's like a wall of silence, right? So you can't hear anything that's going on in the 2 classrooms if you're in the hallway, basically. But once you step beyond, you can hear and speak and see Violence just kind of standing there. Or sitting there, rather. She doesn't say anything as you come into the room. She just kind of like regards you.
Did I recognize the somatic or material
Roll
components?
me an Arcana check.
I'm gonna Sark point that. 25.
She was actually, as you watched her, she was actually working on a couple of different things. Specifically, she was working on Dispel Magic, like repeating a slight augmentation to Dispel Magic, but also something that you're not as familiar with. You actually have to kind of like stretch to kind of think about this one. And you're kind of piggybacking off of what you have seen previously, actually, with the goblin Peppa, who you had seen or kind of like spoken with and kind of like discussed how Peppa was learning to summon lesser demons.
Mm-hmm.
She is practicing a more robust version of that
Summons.
spell.
Gotcha.
So
I
All
say, oh,
right, for
hey, D,
tomorrow?
what's up?
well, had streams cross. Ezra, what did you say?
All right, go ahead, Ezra. I didn't know you said something.
I said preparing for tomorrow.
And Bones, what did you say?
I said, oh, hey, D, what's up?
Okay, so you both kind of say that at the same time, right? And Violence looks at you both, and she looks at Bones and she says, "Don't call me that." And then she looks at Ezra and she says, "Yes, if it's any of your business." What are you doing here?
Passing through.
On to where?
Ezra looks at Bones.
Oh, we hadn't met Wormrill yet, so we thought we'd go see if we could find her.
She looks between the two of you and she's like, something odd here, and she looks over at Bones and she in response and she says, "Wormriddle. Well, good luck with her. She is an eccentric
isn't she like
one."
the vice principal?
Say what?
Isn't she like the vice principal around here?
Violence kind of like rolls her eyes at that, and she said, "I guess she would like to consider herself that, but I mean, she teaches abjuration and enchantment, and she occasionally enforces some codes of conduct. I think she tends to be a liaison to guest speakers. Maybe she's a sort of vice principal role, I suppose." She is incredibly condescending while she's talking about Wormriddle, by the way. Like, just very condescending. Like, it's obvious she does not have good feelings about Wormriddle.
Oh, well, is there anything we should know about old Wormriddle?
Seems like you don't like her. Why not?
You gotta come in the room.
Am I not in the room? Oh, I thought I was in the room. I'm in the room. I say, seems like you don't like her.
I mean, it's kind of in her name, I suppose. She's a night hag, and probably only fit company for the worms that riddle through her body.
Oh, well, that's disgusting.
Awesome. Constant source of protein.
Well, I may be a little biased. They don't... She's not infested with the worms, but those golems of hers... turns up her nose.
Golems.
Oh, she got golem.
All the hags we've seen have golems.
You guys are not actually unfamiliar with this. If you recall your encounter with Karstis mentioned that his flesh golem was a loner.
Oh. Huh. Interesting. Okay, well, cool. So she just like...
Did that one survive the fight?
No, I think we killed it.
That's the one that kept coming back to life no matter what.
So clearly it's
Yeah,
survived the fight.
it participated in the battle against the Sethian Scourges. Yeah.
Oh. Huh. All right then. Interesting.
Yeah. The only reason it didn't keep coming back to life in y'all's fight is because Ezra basically hit it with the "do not fucking regenerate" button. and then it was like, okay, I guess I don't regenerate for a while. But after Ezra was no longer there, it was like, bitch, I'm back. So.
All right. Well, why she got golems? What'd she do with them?
Because she's creepy, and I don't know. She does whatever she wants with them. I really don't want to think about it, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, cool.
Cool.
I guess, good luck on your...
She kind of like, she looks at you kind of quizzically, Bones, like, okay.
What? It's making conversation between friends. What do you mean?
Friends?
Our last whatever.
Hold on. Wait, what?
The last time we spoke was a little, I don't know, like particular?
It was?
Excuse me?
Hold on, time out. I don't remember it being particular.
You mean the private conversation you had with her and her sister about getting them out of the fucking school?
You got a girl all excited, and then you pretended you don't remember what happened?
That was a very private conversation that I don't think we're even privy to.
Oh, was she talking about how we weren't friends, but now we're friends, and I'm not supposed to be friends with her?
And how you talked about this guy that was trying to kill them, and how you might be trying to help them escape from this place, and
I remember all that.
A lot of, well, you're not exactly like showing it. What?
Showing what? I thought we were friends.
All right, you're really weird.
Yes.
I don't understand.
Do you just like go around avoiding very large details?
Yes.
I'm real confused. I don't know. What?
Are you or are you not helping me and my sister escape?
Yeah, I'm working on a plan. Hey guys, we're working on a plan
How
for
the
that.
fuck does meeting Wormriddle help this plan?
Well, I need to know what to expect.
What do you mean?
You gotta expect the unexpected.
I have heard that.
What?
Okay, I get real close to her. I said, I'm planning a distraction.
It involves Wormriddle?
Well, hopefully not. But maybe.
I'm confused.
I think he is too.
I'm not. Look, I'm not confused.
Session, I think, became my favorite, just watching Zach squirm trying to figure out what the hell happened.
Look, I haven't
This is
exactly
enjoyable.
filled him in yet, but I'm in process.
Oh.
I got something big going down in the next couple days. And that's going to be your chance.
She looks at you with this, she's just like, I'm gonna be very upset if my sister and I made a big mistake with you.
Nah, don't worry about it. I got your back, V, and then I walk out.
You see her, she does the like big inhale to where her nostrils kind of like flare outwards, right? Where she's just like,
I give her.
but Bones is already out of the fucking room.
Yeah, I'll give her like a recognizing nod, like, yeah, it's like this all the time.
She rolled me an insight, actually, Ashes.
Okay. Insight roll. 14.
She looks at you as you kind of like give her this look, like it's all, yeah, this is how it is all the time. And she looks at you like a, who the fuck are you? And who the fuck do you think you're looking at right now? Like she gives you this look of like, he and I are on speaking terms. I don't know who the fuck you are.
Hey guys, did you hear the part where I said we were friends and she didn't say no, we're not?
God damn it! I swear to God, I've got to now start saying no, we're not.
So Ezra does the thing where he's intentionally behind everyone,
Yeah.
but kind of slows his pace a little bit more before he hits the barrier.
Sure.
And he's like, maybe not the person to trust with your secrets, but the rest of us will do our best. Oh, and for the Dispel Magic, make sure you've got a 90-degree angle on the second beat. And that makes all the difference.
Roll a charisma. You can do persuasion or... roll persuasion check for me. Roll persuasion check for me. 24! Alright. She looks at you, right, like, at first...
Is that what just happened?
At first, when you start talking, she's like, she gives you the same look that she was giving Ashes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you hit that kind of like dispel magic thing, and there's something like a light bulb, like something that you say triggers like a light bulb moment in her head, and she goes, "Yeah, okay, thanks, all right."
Good luck. And then I walk out.
Little baby.
Okay.
Check.
Cool. Sweet. Hell yeah.
I gotta take the little baby out. I'll be back.
Okay.
All right.
You know what? Actually, it's 8:22. So this is a pretty good time for us to go ahead and take our break. So we will be back in just a few minutes for some more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. We'll see you in a bit. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.